outside on our Skyview camera your Dopplerton forecast for the rest of the work week that's still ahead.
It's not exactly an architect's dream, but some Grandview Heights teenagers put a lot of work into that tree house, and now it could all be coming down. I'm Kelly Hudson with that story coming up.
And 10 TV.
Well, here's a house for you, new at 6. It's a 5-room, 3-level home with a twist.
Oh, my goodness. It was built by teenagers, and it just happens to be perched in a tree. Now, not everyone likes this particular tree house. Some say it's an eyesore that just isn't safe for children. 10 TV Eyewitness News reporter Kelly Hudson tells us about the tug-of-war that's going on in the Grandview Heights neighborhood. Kelly?
The war picked up over the weekend. Police were called after a neighbor confronted the teens who made that tree house. The next move was made by city code inspectors. It doesn't quite look like a tree house.
It's not the greatest looking structure, obviously.
No, I wouldn't.
But Ed Russell says he watched a group of neighborhood boys put it together, scrap by scrap by scrap.
It seems to get taller and taller and taller, and
That's a concern for Code Enforcement Inspector Andy Bauman.
18 by 9.
Police called Bauman to the construction scene. Now he's trying to get a handle on size. He measured and took pictures. Bauman says he'll use the information to determine if this tree house should stay an open house.
Biggest thing, safety. So we'll make sure it's not an immediate, hazard to the public. Because it's out in the open, kids have access to it. So the biggest thing, safety.
Bauman checked out the homemade ladder, too.
Let's hold both of us. We'll find out. This ladder is pretty secure, actually. I can't answer the rest of the structure.
Those answers are yet to come. Meantime, Mr. Dressel thinks this no trespassing sign should be a warning for everyone, including the little architects.
my concern now is the weight. I'm hoping that the tree will hold and sustain the weight of it, and that nobody gets hurt with something falling.
Now, the teenagers had permission to build the treehouse from the person who owns the land. Their parents even signed a liability waiver. But tonight, the police say this treehouse is off limits until code inspectors can figure out if this house should stand, if it's strong enough to stand in a tree. In Grandview Heights, Kelly Hudson, 10 TV Eyewitness News.
All right, thanks a lot, Kelly. Now, it could be weeks before the teenagers find out if their treehouse is going to stay up or if it's going to have to come down.
Really?
It's not the weather that's causing a problem for a group of children. It's their treehouse. The 3-level structure is perched in a tree in a Grandview Heights neighborhood. Now, we first told you about this treehouse last night. Tonight, the property owner has 24 hours to tear that house down. City Code Enforcement says the treehouse is a structural and fire hazard. Workers are making progress on... Tonight, the people who say a neighborhood treehouse has to come down got their way. Demolition of the house began a few hours ago, and now the house is gone. City inspectors condemned the treehouse and ordered it torn down, claiming it just wasn't safe. 10 TV's Christine Dobbin tells us Demolition Day was pretty tough for the young builders.
It's hard to miss.
Wow.
3 stories,
That's 4 rooms. That's almost bigger than my house.
nestled in an army of branches.
Quite an elaborate treehouse.
It was elaborate, all right. Until about 10 o'clock this morning.
Take pictures and just see it one last time.
One last look for the young architects. Neighbors said it was an eyesore. To these boys, pure masterpiece.
It really doesn't look that great from the outside, I'll admit that, but you have to go up in there. It's just beautiful in there. I mean, there's carpet, there's paint, shelves, a desk. What more could you ask for?
After code inspectors condemned it, it had to come down.
The boys have been collecting almost anything they could find to go inside, from insulation, even furniture. But what took a whole year to put up only took about 3 hours to come down.
We find it in empty dumpsters and alleys and stuff.
It's sad, it really is. I mean, it's not fair. I mean, what did we do to deserve this?
A hard lesson to learn when you're just 13. But at 13, resilient.
It just might not be in a tree.
Or ground sport mood.
And it probably won't be on Glen Avenue. Christine Dobbin, 10 TV, Eyewitness News.
Quite a